We are live. Tennessee, they got to do it again tomorrow night. Tennessee loses tonight 7-6. Bottom of the ninth, they get walked off on their home field, which is a moot point, but that's, it wouldn't have mattered. If that had been the top of the inning, Wake could have done a whole lot more damage. So, I mean, what do you say on that one? But Tennessee loses tonight to Wake Forest 7-6, and people are already saying talk us off the ledge here. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
We've still got a game.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, the season's
we still got
not
tomorrow.
over yet.
No,
it's not over. Here's something I would judge, and this always kills me. Vanderbilt loses today, and I see Vol Twitter going to talk trash. It's like, let it play out. Just shut the hell up and let it play out. And but anyhow, on that, we are what we are tonight. We're going to dissect this thing. We're going to look at it along the way. What to you went wrong tonight?
I think it was
a cap game. Is it, we could have done some things differently? I have a couple of thoughts on it, but what's your thoughts on what went wrong for Tennessee tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to preface this by saying I was at work until the seventh inning, so I did watch the majority of the game on my phone. So I didn't get to watch each and every single pitch tonight. But I would say it's just been kind of the same routine stuff that we've seen. You let the other team get out to a 1-0 lead. Tennessee, the bats didn't really get going at all. You have Loy in there. Loy did okay. You kind of pull him earlier than I thought you probably should have. You turn the ball to Arvidsson. Arvidsson does a pretty good job whenever he first comes in. Dean Curley makes a utterly horrific error that extends the inning because of the error that he had. I don't know necessarily if that would have directly caused the Tennessee runs, but it definitely added 10 to 15 pitches on Arvidsson's arm. You would have had runners on first and second. There's either no outs or one out. Still a totally different scenario. You had a much better chance to get out of the inning there and not let them score as many runs as they did. That's been kind of the common this year of Dean Curley makes an error, Tennessee gets in a big deficit, and they have to dig out of the hole. And that was the same scenario we saw tonight. Andrew Fisher hit the huge 2-run home run, moonshot to make it a 6-4 game. Levi Clark comes clutch. That's one of the few times I've actually seen a Tennessee player in game hit a home run into the right field bullpen. It seems like it's always the other team doing that, not necessarily us. So it was nice to see that happen.
You're right.
So it was 6-6. You're nice. Arvidsson's absolutely dealing at this point. And the bats just never did do anything after that. You had bases loaded at one point. You had a great chance there. You get to the eighth inning. Snead's looking pretty well. 7, 8, 9's up. So Clark and Peoples get out, and I'm like, just go ahead, Marin, just go ahead, just get this out. I want 1, 2, 3 to come up in the ninth. 1, 2, 3 comes up in the ninth. I'm pretty sure we didn't even make contact with the baseball in the top of the ninth inning. First off, we shouldn't be batting in the top of the ninth inning in the first place. It's utterly ridiculous that we had to be the away team today. That's just one of the stupidest things in all college baseball, and that falls on the NCAA. Yeah, but that falls on the NCAA. You saw what they did to the softball team earlier today. So it's just kind of what they like to do. They like to screw teams as much as they possibly can. Ended up biting Tennessee in the rear end. Strike zone kind of shrunk there in the bottom of the ninth. They get the bases loaded, and then 4-pitch walk. They win. So be it. They had to win for their season to continue. We didn't have to win for our season to continue. I think tomorrow's game will be great. The good thing for Tennessee is you still have Coons, you still have Krenzel. Snead can come back out tomorrow. You still have Breedlove and Binky if you need to use them. Lloyd can pitch again. Yeah, you got Franklin too. He hasn't been used whatsoever. And then you also have Liam Dole. I
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if I see Liam Dole come out there. If it's the ninth inning tomorrow and it's a close game, do not be shocked whatsoever if Liam Dole comes running out of the bullpen. And he may hit 102 in that situation. Because I think it's just one of those things of, yeah, he can come out, he can throw 30 pitches. You just may have to push them back to Saturday at Arkansas. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, Tennessee's in a position where it's win or go home. It's every arm is available, I would say, except Russell. Russell and Phillips will be the only 2 arms that I rule out at this point, or in Arvidsson, because
Arvidsson, yeah.
But those 3 would be the only ones. Russell could pitch tomorrow, but I don't think they do it considering his arm. So I think that Tennessee's still in a great position tomorrow to win the game. Wake Forest just simply wanted it more. Tennessee had many chances tonight. They just didn't get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go back to it tonight for me. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a fan of Lloyd coming out of the gate tonight, but, it is what it is. We got in a hole with it. I just don't think he's been pitching. I mean, I don't know. He's a guy like as a change of pace guy. Like if you've got somebody like a Doyle, I loved it earlier in the season when we were going Doyle to Lloyd. I thought it was perfect because you had Doyle throwing high 90s with his stuff, and then you transition to Lloyd, and you've got that change of pace throwing batters off, and we went away from that along the way. But for me on the night, I mean, here's the funny thing. I was saying the 3rd inning, get Arvidsson out. They stuck with him because, like you said, Curley makes the freaking error that was inexcusable on it. But I'm still trying to debate, did that error really cost us any runs? Because those 2 runners were on. They did move up. But Arvidsson hung a couple sliders that got hit. So I don't really know that.
I feel like it's just one of those things of when a guy behind you makes that idiotic of a play, it just changes how the whole team around you plays. They may not situationally, they may not have actually scored a run. It just thing changes. It's like Arvidsson standing on the mound. What in the ever living F are you thinking? The dude's standing on second base and we throw it in the piss pouring rain. Like you just can't get any dumber than that. And that had to be what Arvidsson was thinking.
Was it one of the next about Fisher fielded one and got the out, and I could just tell on his face it was like the run scored on it, and there was a look of frustration on his face. I mean, I try not to say I try to bite my tongue at times. I don't know if you're meditating or what. You pause with your eyes closed for a minute. Dean Curley has got to have a better baseball IQ.
Yeah,
he has got to learn the fundamentals of baseball. And I had somebody one night I was arguing with on text saying, well, if these guys come to college, don't know fundamentals, they don't need to be there. Not every dude who comes to college knows the fundamentals of baseball. All right, because the way stuff is set up now, you get into some of these, I think I've heard it called showcases and stuff. They don't care. It's all about how hard you can throw it, how hard you can hit it, how far you can hit it. That's what it's about. They don't care if you can run the bases, if you know how to throw a baseball or, throw it to the right place or any of that. And that's just a terrible play. And, like you said, it affects the team. They've seen it. And Tony Vitello can sit here and keep going on about all this and blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is it keeps happening. I'm a Curly supporter. But holy shit, how many times? He can't defend that tonight. And I'm not saying it costed the game, but my goodness, it just keeps happening. It keeps happening. My fear is when this season ends, it's going to come down to fielding again tonight. And, but yeah, like I said, and some of you in the chat have hit it on as well. The bottom line is 6 hits tonight. 6 of the last 7 batters struck out, and the one who didn't popped it up into the infield. I mean, you had the bases loaded, and Chapman had a meatball thrown inside on the first pitch and watched it and wasn't happy about it. And then he strikes out on it. We just don't. I mean, I'll go back to another one. Our cleanup guy for the weekend has 1 freaking hit. 1.
Yep.
He's done nothing the last
Nope.
2 nights.
And then he lost the ball in the lights tonight too.
I've had that happen. I understand.
Yeah, I've had it happen too.
That
It's
time
just
of
he
night.
hasn't helped. He hasn't helped Tennessee whatsoever this weekend. Like it's just
No, he had the one hit and an RBI Friday night, and that was it. Our top 2 guys are carrying us for the most part. Curley's had some pretty big hits. Clark had the big hit tonight. I mean, Chapman. I mean, it's fluctuated. Don't get me wrong on that, but we better dig down deep tomorrow. And Wake Forest basically called me because I said the pitching lab. I said what I said about it. The pitching lab took over tonight for them, and I was hoping we'd get the extras, but tonight was what it was. I mean, at the end too, that bunt philosophy. I don't know that it would have mattered. That dude put a great bunt down. You got to give him credit. Marin wasn't charging. Sneed ate it. He did what he should have done on that. I mean, he could have turned and tried to fire one, but it probably would have ended the game right there if he would have, because he would have probably thrown it in the right field. Wake's pitching situation tomorrow, I don't know. It seems like
I got no idea.
But I can assure you this, they'll have guys ready to go.
Yep. They said on the broadcast that they still had, like, they mentioned 3 guys in the broadcast that they didn't want to pitch today in case they had to pitch tomorrow. So I would assume Wake Forest isn't as good of a spot as Tennessee is right now, pitching wise, when it comes to tomorrow. But they still have some dudes. They can still get it done. It's just a matter of, I mean, it's a win or go home baseball game. I mean, it's different than every rubber match we played this year. It's you lose and you go home, and you lose on your own field. That's the first time Tennessee's lost at home in a regional game since 2005 or 2006. And whenever we lost that game, it was to Wake Forest. So it's like teams don't come into Knoxville.
That was the last home loss in a regional?
Yep, was 2005 or 2006 to Wake Forest. So the last time it happened was to them. And you get a chance tomorrow to win. Today's game doesn't mean absolutely jack squat if you win tomorrow. Doesn't matter how you win tomorrow. Doesn't matter how pretty or how ugly. As long as you win tomorrow, it doesn't matter. And I think Tennessee's in a great position just because they're playing at their own ballpark. The hitters are going to play better knowing that the fact that they played so bad today. And so be it. If it's a tie game in the 8th or 9th inning, Liam Doole's coming out of the bullpen. And I think Tony may not even make that decision. Liam Doole may run down to the bullpen himself and get warmed up, and he may open the pen doors himself. And Frank Anderson has to be out there and try to refrain him to run onto the field. But he'll just plow over little old Frank and take the mound himself.
Yeah, it's got to come down to that. I would think tomorrow, I mean, I think you probably go Coons on it. I mean, I thought before that if you got to a game 4, it'd be Sherman, but I think based on who you got available still, I'm still not on the trust Sherman wagon. Great that he did things on midweek against Northern Kentucky and stuff. That's not SEC. That's not Wake Forest.
Tony Vitello on his post-game press conference already said Liam Doole has already been in his ear about being available for tomorrow.
Yep. Well, it's like I say, it's win or go home. You got to do what you got to do tomorrow. And I think the only guys to me is probably Phillips, Arvidsson, and hats off to Arvidsson. I thought he'd come out of the gate a little sluggish, but man, once he got through the 4th inning, he was lights out.
Oh yeah,
he's hats off to him, man. He did a great job tonight, and to me, when it boils down to it, this is just one of those Wake made the plays and we didn't. I think what's come down to. We had an error. I'm really surprised there wasn't more errors because neither one of these teams can play a lick of defense for the most part. But here they are. And, looking to line up card tonight, I mean, Keelan had a hit early, second time through. Fisher, 2 for 5. Inslee, 0 for. Bargo, 0 for. Hurley, 1 for 2. Had a couple walks. Chapman over. Chapman had a monumental strikeout, bases loaded up there. He come up there and he pissed down his leg. Clark was 1 for 4. Peebles over tonight. And then Marin 1 for 4 on that. That's not what will get it done. I'm just going to call it like it is. That is not going to get it done. And these guys got to be better than that tomorrow. Just the bottom line with that one. Papa J, member of the channel, says, wow, so frustrating. I agree with Zeus. Hopefully we exhaust their pitching staff for sure. We've definitely got Coons, Krenzel, Franklin tomorrow. Lloyd will be good if we need him. I'm trying to think. Of course, you mentioned Breedlove, Binky, Sharman. I mean, we've got guys that can go. It's just who can get it done. And I'm like you. If we need Doyle is coming back tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. And I'd say him and Vitello will probably fight in the dugout, if not. I'm trying to think who else could be. I think that's pretty much it. I can't remember what Russell threw yesterday. I can't imagine. I'm like you. I can't imagine they bring him back after a couple days on it. Snead will be ready if we need him. He was at around 40.
Yeah,
probably not ideal. Hopefully, we could get through the game with Coons, Krenzel, Franklin. That's my hope on it. Loy in there as well. But you got to do what you got to do. That's just the bottom line with it. JL, member of the channel, says, disgusting way to lose. Yeah, it sucks to go off on a walk off on your home freaking field. The NCAA's got to fix this stuff, man. I mean, Georgia gets walked off on their home field today. Don't feel sorry for them, but still, yet it is what it is. I mean, Tennessee's played 3 games this weekend, and I'm not saying this cost them, but I'm complaining about the system. They played 3 games this weekend at home, and they've been the visitor in 2 of them. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not upward where everybody gets a freaking plaque or a trophy or what have you. You earn home field. You should be the higher seed should be the home team every time on it. And there's people say, well, you got to win either way. You do, but still, yeah. I mean, it could have been worse if you flip flop those scenarios tonight. And Wake Forest is batting in the top of the ninth. We walk in and run. There's still bases loaded. Nobody. It could have been a whole lot worse. So I mean, probably a moot point tonight, to be honest. But what's up, Miles? Good to see you. Disgusting loss. Better not let it beat us again tomorrow. I thought the plan. I don't know. I still. Who would you have started tonight?
Who would I have started
Harbison out of the gate?
I mean, knowing how good he pitched today, yeah, I'd pitch Harbison out of the gate. If I had to make the decision earlier today, I probably would have went with Coons. That's just kind of who I figured. I figured, like I said yesterday, just Coons and then Krenzel was who I predicted to go today. So that's who I kind of picked. I thought Tony would stick with his guns, but he didn't. If you win tomorrow and you play next week, we'll be in a good spot because I think Arvidsson will take game 3 if you make it to it.
I thought that was a classic Tony overthink things. That was a classic Notre Dame Super Regional 2022 is what I thought of it today. Because we have seen this coaching staff make mistakes with their pitching. And 2022 cost them the College World Series and possibly a national championship because they mismanaged that Notre Dame series.
Yep.
And if anybody wants to disagree with me, you can disagree with me on it. But I'm not wrong on this one. Yeah, this is the thing, man. We have not won 3 in a row since South Carolina. It's just something on that third game just doesn't jive. All right, so let's talk. You've already done a pretty good job of it. you've painted a pretty good picture. Some of us that talk us down. Both teams, I feel like Tennessee's a little bit. The thing with Tennessee, with their pitching that's available tomorrow, it's good. It's unproven in this part of the year. Wake Forest, I mean, they had that shootout with Miami of Ohio. Dallas helped them out a lot today with what he did against Cincinnati. And then tonight, they exhausted a lot of guys tonight. And, I think people talking about that one dude was a bit of a wild man that pitched for him, the guy Clark homered off of. I can't remember his name. He was a little bit of a wild man in there for him, the lefty. I got to pull it up here. Let's see. I've got the box score me like at Wake Forest. It was it Bowie?
Yeah, I think that was the guy's name.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a wild man. He was definitely having some conversations with himself tonight for sure. But I mean, I saw people cracking on him after Clark hit the bomb, and it's like, what's he supposed to do? He tried to shake it off. So, all right, what we got?
I was just going to say it has it on the ESPN app that we're playing tomorrow at 6:00. So that's what it has on the ESPN app. It doesn't have any other game listed, even though there are some games that they all just say if necessary. So Tennessee possibly is playing at 6:00 tomorrow. That's later than I expected. I expected it to be 2:00. I feel like that's kind of been the time in the past that I feel like that I remember the most. Then again, Tennessee hasn't really been in this position before, but I do think that 6:00 is a good spot. Same spot we played in every day this weekend. It's just a matter of getting the job done tomorrow.
Yeah, and Lady Vols, they play it. Is it noon?
Yeah, they play at noon.
Yeah,
the good thing is for us though is the fact that people will be able to go to the game. They won't have to take off work tomorrow to go.
Yeah,
if it is at 6.
Yeah, it's been a wild day. I mean, you had the Lady Vols ending, and I tweeted out. I said, I'm happy the game did not end on the home. It should have on the Lady Vols game. I had somebody told me, some woman that's full of shit told me to turn my orange in. I didn't say I wanted the Lady Vols. I did not want the game to lose, and the girl did miss home plate.
Yeah,
I wanted them to win it the way they won it on it. And I don't know, that fired me up, man. It's like I've spent a year and a half building a channel, talking all these sports, and yet I need to turn my orange in for some woman that thinks she's a ball Twitter queen, probably, or something. But whatever. It's been one of those days. I've been a little amped up today anyway. But Big Orange says, are we going to win tomorrow, y'all? Please say yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to the Supers. It's going to happen. Hats off to Wake Forest. They meant, whoa, UTSA is drilling Texas right now.
Good.
So, wow. Good. But yes, I feel confident in it. To me, again, when I saw Lloyd was trotting out, I thought something was off. Nothing against him. He's not started all year, though. Maybe they had something in mind with it. I don't know. That just kind of threw me off a little bit with it because, we talk about we're going the same thing we've always done, and then that comes up today. If it were Arvidsson, I would have probably been a little more like, okay, I get it after what he did last weekend. And nothing against Lloyd, man. He's done a great job this year. He really has. But I still feel like based on his speed, based on what he brings, he's a guy that's good to follow Doyle. He would even be a guy to follow Arvidsson, I think, really well. Because Arvidsson he brings the heat too. Let me try to get caught up on this. I mean, the bullpen, I thought, did a pretty good job. I mean, Snead gave up, a run tonight. Let me get back. I'm on the Wake Forest box. So, I mean, their last two guys were lights out. Inning, a third, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. There's, 6 walks tonight. That's a little much for it. And, I thought Kyle Peterson said on it, Arvidsson allowed the last leadoff batter he allowed did not score, but the ones before that did. It's walks come back to kill you, man. They do 6 of them tonight. We had 17 strikeouts, 12 of them by Arvidsson. We struck out 12 times tonight. I mean, every single guy in the lineup struck out at least once tonight. And some of them in some crucial situations. I mean, the bottom line to me is I look at 3 and 4, 0 for 8 on the night. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And I look at the number 6 hitter who come up the bases loaded, struck out. And he come up there, he was scared. He was scared on it. I don't care when you take that pitch that should have been a meatball for him, an inside fastball. I don't know. It's easy for me to say when I'm sitting here talking about it versus being on the field. I mean, it really is. But, there's Super Chats. Hit that one. Out of the Woods, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Appreciate your generosity. Go Vols. Let's go towards Frank. Getting some Vol posters for that new studio. I still have the Knoxville News 98 National Championship paper that I have never framed. I have last year's. My uncle went on a wild goose chase because I'm not in Tennessee, and I texted my dad after Tennessee won the national title. I was like, if you can, get me a paper. And my uncle went on a wild goose chase and found one back in the Tri-Cities area. I've got those. I've got some pretty cool stuff other than that. But, yeah, man, I've got my stuff up here.
You handed it over to me.
Man, I finished my thought, please.
Yeah, you can go. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got my stuff over here in the corner. I've just got to – it's still a transition, but absolutely out of the woods. We'll get that up here. Yeah, what you got, man?
I was just going to say Wake Forest's head coach said that he thinks they have enough bullets in the pen. He also said they're starting Griffin Green, who has a 2.55 ERA, pitched in 25 games this season, hasn't started a game. His record is 2-1. He's only pitched 35 innings on the year, which is basically the number of the bullpen arm. So, but it's not like an incredibly amount of innings pitched. It is probably the second highest out of all their bullpen arms. Just gave up 10 earned runs on the year and 38 walks to 19, or 38 strikeouts to 19 base on balls. So it's not an incredibly huge margin of strikeouts to walks. And he's also only gave up 3 home runs on the season. So he does appear to be pretty good. And opponents are batting 167 off of him.
Has he pitched this weekend?
I do not know if he's pitched this weekend. Give me 2 seconds and I will know the answer to that.
I'd say we'll see all their guys. We'll see all their main guys tomorrow. I mean, they're kind of in the same situation as us. I mean, it's win or go home. So, yeah, if you save your bullets and you get beat, then
Cincinnati didn't do us any favors today. That's the one thing that has to be said.
They didn't. That's for. But I still thought I felt comfortable coming in against Wake Forest that we'd take care of business, and we didn't.
Nope.
I mean, that's the bottom line. We didn't take care of business tonight, and we had opportunities on it. What Little Rock just?
He didn't pitch today, of course. He didn't pitch yesterday. And he closed out the game, their final game against Cincinnati, or the final few innings of the first game against Cincinnati. He had, at that point, it was like a 6-11 game, so it wasn't necessarily the closest game, but he pitched 1 1/3 innings, didn't give up a hit, didn't walk a single batter, and struck out 3.
Yeah, I think they'll most of their guys are going to be on short rest, or guys, like you said, who haven't started. But we're still going to face good arms. And you know what, man? any of these guys that's got any hair on their chest, they're going to come out and pitch tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would venture to say if their coach went to any guy in that dugout, they're going to say, I'll throw tomorrow, whether it's Matthew Dallas or whoever it is, and they'll be ready to go with it. It's just, this age of coddling pitchers where there was a point in time Matthew Dallas would have probably thrown again tomorrow back years and years ago. But it'll be a battle. Wake Forest will come out ready. They'll have arms for it. And, for me with Tennessee, based on who you've got, you don't have to ride a guy 4 to 5 innings. If he's on a roll, you can, sure. Whoever starts, if he's rolling, let him go. But based on who you got, if it's not working, get him out on it. And again, fortunately, Tony Vitello wasn't listening to me because I would have pulled Arvidsson in the 3rd inning the way it was going.
Same here.
But once he got through let me look back to box score. I think it was the 4th inning, because it seemed to me like when he came out of the gates, Wake got 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. I thought Arvidsson didn't have it, but man, he settled in and was lights out after that. So, the old adage, it's not how you start, it's how you finish sometimes. And hats off to him tonight. And, and two, I wonder, and we talked about it earlier, how much does you watch another error happen? It has to affect these pitchers' psyche at some point. To watch the same ridiculous plays, the same why are you throwing that baseball? There's no point in it. It is what it is. I don't blame Snead on that one tonight. The 9th inning was a little bit rough. He got us out a couple jams. 6 of the last 7 guys struck out, and the guy who didn't popped it up in the infield. To me, that's where the game ended. And Andrew Fisher could get up there and play games all he wants to, but if he's not going to swing the freaking bat after playing these games, then don't play the games on it. I know they were laughing about it on the telecast, but that pisses me off sometimes that we sit here and call the timeout and try to play games and then watch pitches down the middle on it. And I love Fisher. I know you're a Fisher lover, but it's we all are. He's one of the best on the team, but let's get her to swing the freaking bat on it. I don't know. That's just a little bit of me on it. We chased the scoreboard the whole game when we caught it, but once we caught it, we never went there. Looks like 6 o'clock based on what Kerry said. Let's see. Let me see what else we got here.
Tennessee will be the home team tomorrow, thankfully.
Yes. Are we sure that there won't be some technicality or something in the rule book that says Wake Forest should host?
I don't know if they turn it to Appendix G. I think there may be something.
Appendix G. If we go to Appendix G,
if you could do that, then
we're done.
Wake Forest may get the win via forfeit if they turn to Appendix G.
That was the most made up.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think they kind of told whenever they had the umpire meeting after he said that. I think they kind of was like, "You shouldn't have said that. Like, you should have just said the fact that there was nothing they could do, and then I wouldn't have said the Appendix G part."
If it wasn't reviewable, they shouldn't have spent 15 minutes reviewing it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Again, I'm glad the Lady Vols were able to walk it off the right way.
Yeah,
because my thing is, all right, Pickens, you rule. Quit throwing that same pitch that's you walked off once and got it tied up today. We've got to keep it down. Easy for me to say. She still rules, so she still got the job done. This was the biggest thing. You get the bases loaded. You at least got to put the ball in play.
Yep.
On it. I thought that was a poor at bat. And we've seen that numerous times this year. I go back to the Vanderbilt game. And game 3 in Knoxville, wasn't the bases loaded at the end, and Peebles went up there, and it was a terrible at bat. some of these guys, man, when it comes into those situations, easy for me to sit here and say, but I'm just calling it like I see it. They either they don't have it in those situations, or they've not stepped up. Let's say that. I'm not going to say they don't have it because maybe they prove me wrong later. But we've just not had those guys this year that stepped up in those situations. I'm not felt like. Who was it used to play? It wasn't Altuve, was it? I can't remember. Somebody, I kind of remember that. Yeah, we talked about this one, man. Bargo's had one hit all weekend. Yep. And I know Tony Vitello is not going to change the lineup up. But if you're all you got to do for him, throw it about right here. Throw a fastball about right here every single time, and he's done. He's not adjusted to that all year long. And again, I don't hold him losing the fly ball. I've had it happen too. I get it. That time of night, it can be tough, but it is what it is. Trying to get caught up here. Yeah, Curley had his first at bat. He watched 3 straight pitches down the middle. I mean, that tells me, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with this one, man, because you get a team like the Wake, they get hot. They won't be the only team that won earlier today that wins today. You mark my word on it. There'll be more. I mean, you had like East Carolina beat Florida. They just lost 1-0. Well, they lost, but I hadn't seen Oklahoma State Duke score here in a bit. But
Duke won that game.
Duke did. So Duke's moving on, man. Is that right?
Yeah. And then
Rhonda and Les, Appendix G comes into play tomorrow. We are the home team.
Yeah.
And those black jerseys this year almost becoming the smoky grays of last year. I don't remember the last time we won in them black jerseys.
It's been a minute.
So it might be time to break out. What did we win in Friday? The ice jerseys?
Yeah, the ice.
We need to go ice cold tomorrow. We need to go ice cold. Do not break out the black jerseys. Maybe it's because they finally have gotten the fan black hat correct, because I made the mistake of ordering one last year, and the UT on it come back about 1 inch by 1 inch wide. It was pathetic. It was not the one the players wore, and it was too big for me. I still got it. I need to give it away on here one night, actually. Douglas Graham said, I'd like to stay up and talk Tennessee baseball, but got to get up early in the morning. Tough loss. Need to bounce back. Have a good night, man. Hope to see you on here tomorrow night, Douglas. Yeah, we could probably go all night on it, but yep. Wake Forest, hats off to them, man. Nothing but respect to them. You got to give them credit that they really 3 straight, because that Miami Ohio game was pretty brutal. That was a rough game, man. They come through. They took care of Cincinnati. And to me, tonight, they were the better team. That's just what it boiled down to, yeah. And because I look at it, and I don't really think the Curley error cost Tennessee runs, because those 2 guys were on regardless. Arvidsson gave up the hits after that. Hats off to Wake Forest. When it boils down to it tonight, tip of the cap to them, their bullpen, they did it. Oh my gosh, that last Inslee strikeout was what a horrible at bat. And he's better than that. It's just, I don't know. That was kind of at the end. I think that was a tale of the night right there. Still getting caught up here. What? A little bit behind. 6 p.m. tomorrow. Snead has never been a high strikeout guy. He just hasn't. For that, I've always wondered that too. Good pitcher, man. He does good things, but it's always you would think a guy like that, if he had, say, 40 innings pitched, would have like 60, 70 strikeouts, and he's normally below that. 6 p.m. Still getting caught up here. Maddox, bud, congrats to your rake forest. But don't be surprised if you don't get raked tomorrow, all right? Hats off to you. I'm going to give you credit. Hats off to you. Don't put the cart before the horse, though, all right? So actually win something else. We'll see you tomorrow, Maddox. Come in. We'll be back in here tomorrow night live. You know what? You come here and talk all the trash you want to if Tennessee loses. I'm going to put it out there. Tennessee ain't losing tomorrow night. All right? That's just happened. Tennessee is not losing in Lindsey Nelson. And I've said that numerous times this year, but they're not losing tomorrow night. But what kind of a break do you want me to give you, Greg? He went up there and look, he didn't swing on the first one. So you give me a break, man. I'm gonna start getting a little fired up here a little bit, but all right. I'm not criticizing players tonight. I'm calling it like I see it, guys. So here's the thing of it. I want to see guys going up there ready to hit, ready to win ball games. And that last 2 innings, I didn't see it. Am I wrong?
I wouldn't say you're wrong. Nope.
I mean, we had bases loaded, and again, in nights like this, it's easy to say these things on it as well. Last inning, all 3 guys who went up there, they had bad at bats. And I'm not saying they weren't trying or anything, or maybe I'm wrong to say they were scared, but it is what maybe it's tip cap to the Wake Forest guys as well on it. I just didn't feel those last couple innings that our hitters wanted it. I just didn't. I thought our pitchers did good enough to win that ball game based on it was. To me, it comes down to the hitting tonight. Got to be better. Got to be better along the way. So, you got any final thoughts on them? We'll wrap this thing up.
Just swing the bats better tomorrow. Need more runs. I mean, we've been in this situation countless times this season of a rubber game, because that's essentially what tomorrow is it's a rubber game. And the bats haven't came through in a long time on a rubber match. So you got to do it tomorrow. There's no excuses not to. 6 runs isn't going to cut it. You need to get up there. 8 would be the minimum. I'd like 10. All hands on deck when it comes to the pitching staff. I think if you can get it to about the 7th inning, I'd love to see Liam Doyle come running out of the bullpen, no matter how the game's looking. I mean, if it's a blowout, no, but if the game's semi-close in either direction, I'd bring out Liam Doyle. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you lose, your season's over. Liam Doyle's arm doesn't matter the next Friday. It doesn't matter. None of the guys' arms matters next Friday if you lose tomorrow. So it's any guy that has any feeling in their arm should go out on the mound and pitch tomorrow for Tennessee, because we need all the help we can get from the bullpen, because it's not came through and time again. But hopefully once and finally for all, we can finally see the offense come through and take a huge relief off the bullpen shoulder. Because if the offense does great, that puts Tennessee in a great position. You don't have to use Doyle. That sets you up perfectly for the Super Regionals. So offense does their job tomorrow. You don't have to worry about anything else. And that's exactly what we can hope for.
That's what it is. Guys have got to come wanting to hit. I mean, to me, it's my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. But I felt like the top two guys are going up there fired up to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, I just felt. I felt Curly when he was in. He looked fired up to hit. There's other guys I watched tonight that just look lackadaisical. To me, just my opinion. Again, doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong on it. And those last two innings, the at-bats were – that's probably about as poor of a 2 innings as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
In Tennessee, you
That's
go
pretty bad.
for 6 out of 7 guys to K and one of them to pop out. The results are what they are. They are what they are. Wake Forest had productive at-bats. Wake Forest played a little bit of small ball and won the game. We don't do that very well or very often on it. And, again, hats off to Wake Forest. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Kyle Beach says 6 o'clock ESPN. I thought they had abolished that channel. Thankfully, I've got a Sling subscription for all this crap right now. But they are what they are. We'll be live again tomorrow night. Hopefully, tomorrow night's not the last one on it. But I can assure you, Wake's swinging good bats right now after what do they have? The second most home runs in the whole tournament right now. So, I mean, they're swinging it. I know they lost their first game, but that was kind of a wake-up call for them. So, we'll see. It should be a good one tomorrow night. I would expect Coons starts. I mean, I think that's where you've got to go based on who's available. I don't trust throwing Sharman out there to start. If he's a change of pace guy, maybe, but hopefully Coons comes out with the fire in his eyes. And
I'll say that, like, the thing is with the Liam Doyle stuff is if you do start him, emotions are going to be really high for the offense, the defense, and just himself in general. So if that's the case, if he does start, you have to get out to a lead with him on the mound. You have to, because once he comes out of the game and things kind of die down, it could be a disaster. We saw that happen game 3 against Notre Dame in the Super Regionals. Once the emotions kind of get out of the ball game and you settle into a baseball game, that's when bad things can happen. If you do start Liam Doyle, you better get out to a quick and big lead, because the last thing you want to do is have it a close game. He has to come out of the game because the dude can't feel his arm anymore. And the momentum's gone, and then Wake Forest has a chance to run away with it. So I think I want to see Liam Doyle pitch tomorrow, but I don't necessarily want to see him start, just because I feel like it's just much better for momentum wise. It would be nice just to have him come out and pitch 3 or 4 innings, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have him coming out of the pen. I'd rather have just a guy struggle through the first 3 innings, like a guy like Coons, just get through 3 innings and only allow like 2 runs. And just let everybody else do it the rest of the way. Because all that truly matters tomorrow is the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. The other ones aren't quite as important, which is a lot more different than most of the games throughout the past of the season. So it's just kind of my opinion. I feel like it's just one of those things. You're going to see a lot of Liam Doyle needs to start tomorrow, this, that. I don't necessarily think that's the smartest decision, because motion is going to be as high as they'll ever get for a guy that's arm is already taxed this weekend, and things can get bad real quick in that kind of situation, in my opinion.
I think you go to Paul Skeen's philosophy like LSU in College World Series back in 2023, where obviously he started to begin with, but once you got to the end, he was available.
Yeah, he was available.
It was like if or when you needed him. And LSU managed that really well. Well, I think it's the same thing with Liam Doyle. I don't start him tomorrow either. I go Tegan Coons, and then I go from there with it. And the big thing with him, he's had some his last 2 outings, maybe not his best. How many times has he had some just crazy things happen?
Yep.
This year.
Defense has
obviously I'm a little biased on him, but still, there's Ole Miss. There were like 4 errors when he pitched. The Arkansas, it was like the BS pick call. And then Curly Boots won through his legs. And, just the wheels come off after that. It's just back him up, play defense, just play smart on it. He'll be fine with it. And, too, I think the pitch calls a lot. I think we've been better this week in not just being heavily reliant on fastballs. His best pitch coming in was a slider. Let's use that slider. Let's let him pitch tomorrow and see where he goes. Like you mentioned, Krenzel, Franklin, Doyle will be available. Loy will be available. I don't think Phillips.
No,
I'd be shocked on Russell.
that's the only two arms that I would, or the only three arms I'd roll out is Phillips, Russell, and Arvidsson.
Everybody else is good to go, at least for a little bit tomorrow. So we're in good shape. We're in good shape and ready to go as long as the bats hit. I think the pitching will be ready. Defense, if the defense does their job, as long as the bats, we need guys going up there ready to hit tomorrow night. None of this crap tonight. They were more lackadaisical tonight. They've been more aggressive. But tonight, I felt like they were not as aggressive. That was how I felt last week in the SEC tournament. Come out against Alabama, aggressive. Aggressive against Texas. Vanderbilt happened, lackadaisical. Again, I don't know what happens in those third games, but, who knows? We're going into uncharted territory of a fourth game.
Yeah.
Maybe things click tomorrow, but it's win or go home. We'll be live tomorrow night on that. So thank you guys for tuning in, being with us tonight. 6 o'clock from what some have said, ESPNU tomorrow night. If you can't find it, I'm sure you can look it up on YouTube and find it there. But he's Kerry. This is Frank, House of Orange. We'll see you tomorrow night. Last but not least, go Vols.